Donald J. Trump is no stranger to upsetting expectations. His unexpected rise to the presidency in 2016 stunned the world. In 2024, he did it again, winning a second term as President of the United States. His victory sent shockwaves through the American political establishment and reverberated around the globe. Now, as he begins his second term, all eyes are on the 45th president, wondering what his agenda holds for the next 4 years. Trump's return to the Oval Office signals a continuation of his America First agenda. He has promised to double down on his commitment to protecting American jobs, securing the borders, and restoring American strength on the world stage. Emboldened by his victory, his supporters eagerly await the fulfillment of these promises. They believe that Trump is the only leader who can defend their interests and bring America back to greatness. His critics, however, view his second term with apprehension and fear. They fear that his policies will further divide the country and damage America's standing in the world. They point to his rhetoric on immigration, trade, and foreign policy as evidence of an isolationist and divisive worldview. As Trump embarks on his second term, the stakes are high. The decisions he makes will have profound consequences for the future of America and the world. The ongoing conflict in Ukraine has become a defining issue of Trump's presidency. He has taken a controversial stance from the beginning, expressing admiration for Russian President Vladimir Putin and questioning the value of NATO. While he has provided some military aid to Ukraine, he has also resisted calls for tougher sanctions against Russia. Trump's critics argue that his unwillingness to confront Putin has emboldened the Russian leader and prolonged the conflict in Ukraine. Trump's relationship with Russia continues to be a subject of intense scrutiny. Despite numerous investigations into alleged collusion between his election campaign and the Russian government, no concrete evidence of wrongdoing has been produced. Nevertheless, Trump's warm words for Putin and his dismissal of Russian interference in the 2016 election have fueled suspicions about his intentions. Beyond Ukraine, Trump has pursued a confrontational approach to foreign policy. He imposed tariffs on goods from China and other trading partners, sparking fears of a global trade war. He also withdrew the United States from the Iran nuclear deal and the Paris Climate Accord, arguing that these agreements were not in America's best interest. Trump's supporters applaud his willingness to stand up to America's rivals and put America's interests first. They believe that his tough stance is necessary to restore America's global leadership. Trump's relationship with Canada, America's closest neighbor and largest trading partner, has been particularly strained. His tariffs on Canadian steel and aluminum imports, and his threats to tear up the North American Free Trade Agreement, have put a strain on relations between the two countries. Trump's rhetoric on immigration has also caused concern in Canada, a country that prides itself on its welcoming attitude towards newcomers. The Trump factor loomed large in the 2025 Canadian federal election. The Conservative Party, led by Pierre Poilievre, sought to capitalize on anxieties about Trump's presidency, warning that a liberal government would be ill-equipped to deal with the unpredictable American leader. However, the Liberals, led by Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, ultimately prevailed, winning a third consecutive term. Despite the Liberal victory, Trump's re-election is likely to cast a long shadow over Canadian politics. The Canadian economy is deeply integrated with that of the United States, and further deterioration in relations between the two countries could have significant economic consequences for Canada. Moreover, Trump's policies on issues such as climate change and immigration are at odds with those of the Canadian government, creating the potential for friction on the world stage. Trump's victory in 2024 revealed a nation deeply divided along political, cultural, and geographic lines. His supporters, concentrated in rural areas and among white working-class voters, remain fiercely loyal to him. They see him as a champion of the forgotten man and a bulwark against the forces of political correctness and cultural change. His opponents, however, concentrated in urban areas and among minority voters, view him as a threat to American democracy and values. They point to his attacks on the media, the judiciary, and other institutions as evidence of authoritarian tendencies. They fear that his presidency will further erode democratic norms and exacerbate the existing divisions within American society. The 2025 Wisconsin Supreme Court election, a race with national implications, highlighted the deep partisan divide in the country. Despite Trump's victory in the state in the 2024 presidential election, Democrats flipped the court to their control, thanks in part to high turnout among their base. The election results suggest that the road ahead is fraught with challenges for both parties. For Republicans, retaining control of the House and Senate in the 2026 midterm elections will be crucial to advancing their agenda. However, the party faces a number of headwinds, including the potential for low turnout among disgruntled Trump voters and the possibility of a backlash against the president's policies. For Democrats, the challenge will be to harness the energy of the resistance movement and translate it into electoral success in 2026 and beyond.